Hello guys, and welcome to Reborn with Michael Watson. Today we're talking about your desire. It already exists, guys. If you can imagine it, it's already real. How can we make this make sense to us? Because you're like, yeah, don't worry about that, I can imagine anything I want. But that means somewhere in this existence, that thing that you have imagined is already yours. You see, because we experience time as a forward motion thing, but time is non-local, you know. There is this present moment, but there's infinite present moments happening all at once. This is the idea of time being stacked on top of each other and parallel universes. You know, you make a decision and go one way, but in another universe you made a different decision, it takes you that way. So there's infinite universes. So that's how I want you to think about this. And I talk about this from the aspect of Neville Goddard. Your own human imagination is God. But the way that it is easier to kind of get the idea of it, that what you imagine already exists, is that as soon as it becomes an image in my mind, it exists somewhere in experience. It exists somewhere in the quantum field. It exists somewhere in a parallel universe. How does it make sense to you for this image to exist somewhere? So we must then start to reason in our mind. If it exists, then I just need to absolutely become one. Become that thing, that person, and just bring it into my existence in that way. You see, I like the idea of this. Dr. Joe Dispenza says it so very well. He says sometimes when you wake up from a meditation and you're back, everything looks the same, feels the same, you see it the same, but actually you've transitioned to another parallel universe where the thing that you desire is on its way to you. So when we imagine something, we must then start to believe that it already exists. However, we need to get there. You see, everything started as an idea in the mind of man or woman. Man. You know, I'm not trying to sound archetypal here at all, but it all existed in the idea of the human mind. You see, everything like this car that I'm in right now, it didn't just come to existence. It first began in the mind of a man or a woman. Their imagination had to see it, and then the action steps came to create that thing. Now, when you think about action steps, that just means in this purpose, just to keep living and moving in your life. Now, if you get inspired to do something, say you're imagining a high amount of money coming to you from a business. You don't know exactly what the business is, but you've imagined being successful, you've felt the feelings. Then an idea comes to you. It feels natural, you don't want to fight against it. So you just put the idea out there. Then the idea starts to gain some traction. You feel like you're not quite having to work so hard. The idea gains traction, you keep moving. You just keep moving. Then suddenly one day, you sell that business for $10 million. The amount that you were imagining. You see, your imagination precedes reality. It's a wonderful quote there where it says, imagination is just a preview of life's coming experiences. You see, so think of it as your preview, and actually you can make it quite fun. Now, if you're struggling with this idea, then start to imagine something that feels simple to you. You see, it's only our belief that blocks this happening. So our belief system blocks the power of our imagination. It's not the circumstance, it's not because we're not good enough, it's just the fact that we have resistance against it. So to be in a place of non-resistance, why don't you imagine someone buying you a coffee? Feel all those feelings of the coffee being delivered to you, maybe by someone you like. How lovely, what a wonderful feeling. Enjoy that feeling. Then just go about your life and you will be guided into that situation. Another thing that we have to realize is that, you see, when you imagine something with enough passion, enough emotion, you add such a charge of energy to it that you make a ripple in the quantum field. That ripple then starts to make a chain of events that start to create matter. Energy is the creative thing of matter. We have to remember that. So when we are imagining, it already exists. We are just adding energy to that thing. Then it is drawn to us. Then we are drawn to it. You know, it's that wonderful thing, isn't it? I love this idea that our imagination is the creative process, is God. So if you are someone who connects with the idea of God, then your imagination is all-powerful, omnipotent, perfection, personified. So if we spend our time imagining and worrying about bills and money and partners and getting cheated on, you're going to experience that in your life. So start to be careful with what you imagine. Start to focus your imagination in the direction of that which you wish to see. Once you do this, you're going to experience all the joys of life. Fantastic. Have a great day, guys. I've been Michael Watson. Please like, share and subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you so much.